And a story that's been doing the rounds on social media where UK police say a rabbit has been proclaimed as the biggest in the world has been stolen from its home at Stoulton. And the rabbit is 1.29 metres long, named Darius. A photograph doing the rounds. It holds the Guinness Book of World Records citation as the world's longest rabbit. This is a big rabbit, but, well, rabbits are now a topic of conversation in Australia. We've heard about the mice plagues, but rabbits may well become another issue for us. We go right back to places like Narrandera in the early settlements that rabbits completely ate out crops and areas and devegetated in plague proportions. And it wasn't until the 1950s that we brought the myxomatosis virus, which in effect began to get control of rabbit populations across Australia. Then the Khaleesi virus that came in the 90s. You might actually remember that it was released early. It got away with flies transferring the virus off of rabbits from Wardang Island off of Port Victoria near Maitland on the Yorke Peninsula in South Australia. In effect, it actually led to a quick issue of the virus, quicker than what had been expected at the time, and probably was one of the key reasons with its success of saving Australia. There are 300 threatened native species. They change landscapes, as we know, and they cause more than $200 million a year in losses of agricultural production alone. And the CSIRO has been working with Meat and Livestock Australia to look at biocontrols and what they call organoids, whether they can be used to better understand how rabbit Khaleesi viruses work at a cellular level. And the CSIRO, in commenting on the current circumstances, have been looking to develop a new virus, another strain in effect, to be able to control rabbit populations. But these are sometimes within 10 to 15 years of planning. More strains of rabbit populations in large proportions were found near Canberra in 2015. The RHDV2 was the one in which that they were able to release. The RHDV2 proved more deadly to rabbits than the deliberately released K5 before it. And the possibility, because K5 was released into populations that RHDV2 had already swept through, that rabbit densities were much lower and contact rates between rabbits were low. Dr. Hall, who leads the CSIRO program, said it was impossible to put a timeline on their research, and when a new virus might be found, the development of the K5 took 15 years. So that in itself is something to be concerned about, particularly given that populations are continuing to be found, and if we continue to have good seasons, and like we have, that is feed available for rabbits to explode in population numbers. So it is an important thing to keep an eye on the rabbits and make sure that they don't end up having big ones like this Darius. At 1.29 metres, it looks like a lion with a funny set of ears.